Welcome to the fourth episode of Happy 30th Birthday ADA. Today we're talking about equal opportunity employment, and we're here with Janet Manuel. Janet is the Director of Human Resources and Civil Service with the City of Pittsburgh. She is also our EEO officer for the city. So we're very excited to have you and to talk about what it means to be an equal employment opportunity employer.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about this topic. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are very excited about it. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. What is EEO? What does it mean to be an equal opportunity employer?
Well, first of all, it is the law. Every employer has to be, by federal regulations, an equal opportunity employer, even if you only have one employee. And the whole concept about being an equal opportunity employer, I affectionately call it EOE, the employer pledges to not discriminate against employees on protected classes. That's the whole concept. And so the Equal Opportunity Act of 1972 developed what is known as the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. That is the body that, if there are any concerns, that employees or people can actually file a formal complaint against their employer. So it all started with the Equal Opportunity Employment Act of 1972, which developed the EEOC Commission. But really, as an employer, it is law, and it's also that pledge. It's that pledge of commitment. That commitment that applies, that's not only limited to hiring decisions, placement decisions, but also benefits, promotions, transfers, all of that. It's just that you pledge this commitment that you're going to do right by that employee. And even that employee, the applicant, because it also protects them as well, because it encompasses the hiring process.
Absolutely. I think that's one of those things we see on all of our applications, and we definitely have them with the city. There's always that statement. We do not discriminate based on, sex, religion, race, all of that. Is that statement what comes out of that act?
Absolutely. And so for us here for the City of Pittsburgh, it again, showing our commitment to providing an inclusive environment where all can be as productive and efficient as possible. And when you have that type of work environment, it definitely promotes respect, in which each employee has the opportunity to develop into their full potential. And that's what every employer really wants. And most definitely, we want that for the City of Pittsburgh, whoever works for us.
Yes, we want to attract the best and the brightest, but we also want to retain the talent that we have.
Yes.
Great. And one thing that we've really talked about in the last couple sessions with the Americans with Disabilities Act, of course, it's the law, just like we said with EEO or EOE, but that doesn't always translate to practice when we're thinking about employers, or we've heard the stories of employers that don't take those laws as seriously as they could. So with the City of Pittsburgh, I love that you mentioned our commitment to it, that we are committed to being an equal opportunity employer. What does that mean for the city specifically?
So we show our commitment in lots of ways. One, training and development definitely helps people understand our commitment. Because it's one thing to say that you are an equal opportunity employer and to say verbally, sure, we're committed, but that is also supported and backed by actions. Training and development is one form of action. Our ways that we do our hiring is another way, where we have a set of standardized interview questions and interview guides that are used, so that way the same respective questions are asked of each respective candidate that is applying for the same position. So there's no differentiation. So someone cannot, claim that we treated another applicant different than another. So we have consistency in our interview practice, our training and development, based on helping all, not only leadership or members of management, understand what does it mean to be fair. We also provide that training to our employees. We talk about it initially during general orientation, and we set the record straight from the beginning. This is who we are as a city, and this is what we will not tolerate. So as an employee of ours, we want you to understand what we believe in, what we support, and it's our actions that definitely support the fact that we are what we say we are.
Completely agree. You know, I tout the City U banner everywhere I go.
Exactly.
Big fan of training and development, but that is definitely a commitment that we have with the city, that HR has pushed out, that we talk about it a lot. We have our anti-harassment trainings. We have our fair hiring trainings. We really try to push forward that we are there for our employees. We're there to protect them. We're there to help them. We're there to build them up. If somebody had questions or had concerns or issues or anything like that, would HR be their best place to start?
Absolutely. The role of human resources, some people think our role is that we side with management. It really isn't. The role of human resources for the city of Pittsburgh is we're kind of Switzerland. We're right in the middle. So we have information coming from management, but we also have information coming from employees. But we cannot take sides. We have to be able to decipher the information without being influenced by either one. But also make sure that what our advice is that it is adherence to employment law and what is also the right thing to do. Not so much, is it going to make the employee happy or is it going to make the, employer happy? It is, what is the right thing to do? And that really is the role of HR when there are any questions that come to us. So if anyone has any questions or any feelings that they may have been treated differently or that they were not given a fair opportunity, they definitely can come to the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service, and we will be able to assist them.
Absolutely. Yeah. That came up in our week 3 conversation as well. We talked about reasonable accommodations in the workplace and how HR is really that best place to start and to have those questions and to ask those conversations, because on top of being neutral, we're also confidential. So what
that
does
is
that
key.
mean?
Our lips are sealed, and it is a friendless job because you can't be friends, right? Yep. Because some people will try and become your friend because they think they can get information out of you. We hold a lot of confidential information from the start of someone's application process to the ending of their career with the employer. And we do know a lot. And so the role of HR definitely has to be a trusted role. And for those that work within HR, have to realize the importance and value of being confidential. And that is key.
Yeah.
We're neutral, we're also confidential, but we also understand the aspects of employment law and some aspects of labor relations and some things that we may not know fully. Then we also have the assistance of our respective law department that can assist us in the interpretation and the understanding.
Yes, it's that way that all of the departments work together, I think, really brings us back to that word commitment. The commitment that we have as the City of Pittsburgh, as that greater organization. It's not just one person against another or one department over another. It's all of us working together to bring our employees the best possible work experience.
You are correct. And let's not forget, it also applies to our applicants. So here we are celebrating 30 years, Americans with Disabilities Act. And one of the things that the City of Pittsburgh recognizes is that first impression starts with the application process. And we have enhanced our application area. for our applicants, making sure that the desktop is adjustable for any applicants that may or have to utilize a wheelchair. If there are applicants who are hard of hearing, visually disabled, we have adjusted and rearranged our whole application system, which is located in the city county building on the 4th floor, where we have the keyboard that actually lights up. Then our computer system has the ability to speak. So if we have applicants that are hard of hearing, we have that. For those that have visually impairment, we also have the larger font, as well as other abilities to assist the applicant. And I think sometimes that's what other employers forget. They think EOE just is for the employee, and that is true, but it's not just for them. The whole process starts at the very beginning, and that sends a message to the applicant. Okay, the city of Pittsburgh understands, and they get it. Because then they feel welcome, they feel included, they feel like, wow, they've already adjusted all of this for any applicant to come in and be able to complete the application process. And then we even go a step beyond for those that may need assistance, actual assistance, and we have the HR specialists that will be able to come out and assist them as well. So we've got all the pieces in place, and that is why it is so great to know that we as the city of Pittsburgh, when we say we are an EOE, we are, and we make sure that it starts from the application process all the way through. We've even had it so if people that are here visually impaired and they have to bring in a the respective dog to assist them, that's also allowed. If they have someone that needs an interpreter for sign language, that is also allowed. So it is a good feeling to know that our actions is backing up, and it's just a proud moment to be able to celebrate 30 years for ADA and know the things that we have done on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh that we're making them have a even better and bigger celebration by the things that we've implemented.
Yes, I always like to bring up too with our applicants, our civil service testing is also something that we can bring in accommodations for or adapt to if someone has differing abilities. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think civil service testing is unique to government, so they always get a little overwhelmed anyway, but it really is everything from filling out the application to taking the test to getting onto the job. We're there to support them.
Correct. And it is. It's a good feeling.
It is. We've seen a lot. We've seen that support with the city of Pittsburgh, and we know that the ADA is celebrating 30 years. So the last couple of weeks, we've been looking at the past and the present on what does that really mean? How are we being inclusive, and why is that important to us? But what about the future? Do you see any continuing commitments or anything else that we, as the city of Pittsburgh, are doing to be even more inclusive?
Well, here we are in the middle of COVID-19, and I believe that is going to help catapult the inclusivity standpoint from an ADA to a higher level. You have a lot of people who are having to work remotely, and what does that really look like? And even though the whole world was kind of rushed to, get everyone situated and safe and sound, but I think there's also going to be other aspects to it of what does that accessibility really look like for those that have to work from home. And then also for those that are in the buildings. Yeah. With the fact of the elevators, the distancing, and just making sure that all of those things are in place for those that have the need for any type of assistance from an ADA standpoint, that it will be accommodated and that the need will be met. And so it's going to look a little bit different, I believe. There will be a lot more things that employers will have to implement. So like at our station, for those that want to apply, we have a headset. We now have to start having disposable headsets.
Yeah.
To make sure that individuals are using something that is appropriate for them. Then we also have to look into, sure, is the keyboard useful now? But is there something that's just voice operated as well? So I'm looking forward to the challenges that are ahead, because it keeps you engaged. It keeps you thinking of, you're doing good, but better is better than good. And I think that is something that COVID-19 is helping all employers, and even the city of Pittsburgh, really take a harder look at. And I've already been looking at how do you keep, the panels between the applicants, and making sure that things are safe and that you've got the hand sanitizer, all of that for anyone from an ADA for even the work office. What, is it the standing desktops? That used to be the thing of the day. Is that still going to be relevant? We don't know. So I think it will provide us some interesting things for us to continue to think about and challenge ourselves about.
Yes, I think that's something that's come up with the ADA. Obviously, over 30 years, the world has changed, needs have changed.
Yes.
Even what employees or employers are realizing would be helpful in their businesses is changing over time. And we hear the phrase unprecedented time everywhere as we talk about COVID-19.
And I even say it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm very guilty of that.
I say it. I say it all the time.
It is one of those challenges of it is new. We didn't know that this was coming. And I think that the city overall, because we are interconnected and our departments work so well together, we have been at the forefront of making sure that we have this ability to take care of our employees. But as those needs change, we also know that employee concerns are changing, or what they might need that they didn't need assistance with because of a disability or because of a medical need might be different from what we're going to see as we start moving back into the office or as people are working from home. Is there somewhere or someone that our employees can really talk to or go to either give their ideas or to ask for that help?
So we have our ADA coordinator, Charlene Holder. I would say start with her first. And, each of our respective HR business partners are assigned to a department. I say reach out to them as well with your respective ideas or thoughts. And then collectively as a department, me and the management team can look and review, the suggestions and see what really can be done with them. Now, trust me, not every idea or can be implemented, but we are at least open to hearing and listening to what the ideas are. Because you're right, they could come up with something that we're not thinking of or aware of, but absolutely. But then, the other aspect of that is not only the HR business partners, but then there's also Charlene Holder, who's the ADA coordinator. But I would also say take that opportunity to speak to your supervisor, to the direct supervisor, who could say, wow, that's, sometimes they may not be able to get to us if they're not, and they can get to their supervisor faster. Throw the idea out, and then that supervisor can relay it back to HR. And then collectively, all of us can work on this together. But I think there will be some very different thoughts, different ideas that don't even exist right now.
Yes, I think that's definitely something that we've seen in the past that I just think is so fascinating. One of the examples that was brought up with one of our previous guest speakers was just things like wider doorways. Something that I, as a person who doesn't have that differing ability, would never think of, but is something that is so crucial to someone who might be in a wheelchair and needs that. So it's great to know that the city really does have that commitment. And I told Charlene last week that I throw her name to everybody. So
Send
anyone who
everyone
has
to
an issue,
her. Send everyone to Charlene Holder,
yeah, go to
HR
Char, go to
manager,
the HR
ADA
business partners.
coordinator.
Yeah. But it is really fascinating to me that those are things that could come up, and it's great to know that we are
Mhm.
committed to making sure that we hear that we see that, and that we're there to make those changes and those accommodations for our employees.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
So happy birthday, ADA, 30 years.
yes.
Wow, long time. And some good things have came about because of it. And I'm excited. I'm excited for to celebrate the 30 years. Happy birthday. I'm excited for how it really has helped employers do the right thing and make sure that they accept that commitment and make sure that they are doing everything within their means to promote respect, to provide that work environment which promotes respect, where every employee, and I said it earlier, and I love saying it because it's true. That's what the city strives to do. We provide a work environment which promotes respect, in which each employee has the opportunity to develop to his or her, to their full ability. That's the key.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that I think is a great thought to wrap up on. So,
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind, we've been ending every session with just saying, really wishing the ADA a happy 30th birthday. So, if you wouldn't mind joining me and just saying, happy birthday, ADA.
I thought you were going to ask me to sing for me.
Well, now that you've said it.
I would have sung happy birthday, but I will say happy birthday, Americans Disability Act. I am excited for you making employers have the commitment. Enjoy your birthday. We're celebrating all year, even though the series is only for this month, but we will continue to celebrate the birthday all year. That's my motto. Celebrate all year. Why not? Happy birthday, ADA. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Director. It was great talking with you.